When you set out on your journey to start learning Forex, you don't know what you don't know. You start to gather all of this information about different concepts, different ideas, different understandings of the market, and you slowly start to piece things together and start making sense of them. Now, once you start putting these things together, obviously, like I just said, you don't know what you don't know, right? Now, what you really need to do within the trading space is to ask why for everything. One of the most critical questions that I've asked myself during my whole journey, throughout the whole thing, and what I will continue to do, is to ask why. You may be able to identify these different concepts and understand them from a surface level understanding, but you really need to dig in deep and understand the why into, these different things. I've had a few people message me recently saying, why are we getting these things? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? And what you actually need to do is you need to ask yourself, why is this happening? You need to piece together these different things and then use some logic, input some logic into the reasoning behind why you think this thing is happening, because everything happens for a reason. Now, as we said, we all have to start from somewhere, right? But when you are barely just scraping the surface of these different concepts and ideas and understandings of the market, whether that be learning from YouTube, learning from Twitter, learning from Instagram, wherever you're learning these concepts and ideas from, being at this base level is not going to help you become successful. You need to then do this extra work, this behind the scenes work that no one actually sees you do, right? And the thing is, it's so difficult to do in the beginning because you've got nothing to show. All you're doing is you're gathering data, you're gathering information, and you're storing it in your brain. And obviously what you need to be doing is seeing it repeatedly over and over and over again. You might be able to open up a chart and say, this is structure, this is a POI, this is liquidity. But you need to understand the reasons why these things are what we call them, right? Because if you don't have any idea why, how do you think you're going to push forward? The whole reason that I got into smart money concepts, or however you would like to call it, is because it made logical sense to me, right? All of the information that I ever learned prior to getting into smart money concepts didn't make sense to me. There was no real why. It was just, you need to draw the trend line like this, you need to do this, you need to do that, right? And I didn't want to risk my own money on those kind of things once I started progressing through my own journey. Now, in the beginning of my journey, I sought out some mentors and some people to teach me how to trade Forex. But back when I started, there wasn't really any of this, mentors or people popping up and providing services to be able to learn to trade the Forex markets, or any other market in that case. All we really had were these massive marketeers who were marketing different kind of courses. You had to go to seminars back in the day, and all you really had was brokers which wanted you to sign up, and they would give you a bonus, and then obviously every kind of lot that you place, someone would get a commission when obviously you sign up to their affiliate brokerage. Or you would have people providing signal services. Now, this is ultimately how I came initially into the game, is by looking at marketing a signal service, because I didn't make any money, I didn't do anything. I think I'd done it for 2 or 3 months and I didn't do anything. But what I was seeing was that initial possibility of being able to make money. I was seeing all of these people online, obviously, making a year's wage in a day. And I knew that there was something there that could make this happen for me. I thought, if these people can do it, why can I not do it? So when I actually found people that were teaching what I thought I wanted to know, I paid a lot of money to be able to get into their courses. I paid up to £5,000 for one course and ultimately didn't learn anything. I was actually teaching in the classroom, if you like. We were in a classroom of, let's just say, 30 people, and I was actually teaching the other people around me, and this was back when I was 19, 20. So as you can imagine, I slowly lost the belief that I was actually going to be able to learn from anyone, and I just thought, you know what, I still want to do this. I have this deep desire and this drive to actually get to where I want to be within this market. So I took it in my own hands and I just kept plowing on, and I just kept learning as much as I could from everyone, and then obviously taking what I thought was valuable, asking why into these different concepts, and then slowly building my own system, and then here we are today. So I would say that anyone can become successful and consistent without being mentored by someone, but it definitely will take you a lot longer. And this is from personal experience. You have to then do unnecessary tasks which you wouldn't have to do if you were mentored by someone, and then obviously speed your journey up to a much quicker time period. So if you are looking for mentorship, I do currently have a Black Friday sale on. So if we jump onto the website here, we can go over to mentorship. You can obviously have a read through this. This is kind of everything that we cover in the mentorship. And then we do have the deals right here. So if you are interested in that, go check out the website. I'll leave a link in the description. And I'm feeling extra nice for you guys because obviously I'm only now releasing this video on Sunday and my Black Friday deal will be over, right? So what I'm actually going to do is extend it for you guys. For anyone that is interested in joining the mentorship, I will give you an extra 3 days to be able to get into this deal. So the sale will be ending on Wednesday, the 30th of November at midnight in the UK. So with the absolute basic surface level understanding of concepts, of ideas, of understandings of the market, you're not going to be able to filter out the higher probability positions, and as I like to say, to filter out the garbage and to find the gold. Because you need to have this deeper understanding to be able to know what is a higher probability position. Why is this losing more than this one, right? And then you've got that extra work to do, which means wiping the slate clean and just wiping out everything that is not profitable for you. Obviously, you need a larger sample size to be able to do this because you need to know which ones are working, which ones are not. And this obviously then incorporates, you need to be journaling every single position that you take, because if not, you're never going to know what the results are. One man's trash is another man's treasure. One person might say, I hate doing all of this work, I really dislike it, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do the back testing, don't want to do the journaling, don't want to do the case studies, don't want to do anything that is actually going to push them forward. But another person might actually say, this is amazing, this is great, I love this is feeding me so much information, which I can then transcribe into ultimately profitability and consistency down the line. Your subconscious is actually listening to everything that you say to yourself. So you need to be careful what you say, because the mindset needed to be able to succeed in trading is not going to come from negative self-talk. Something as simple as positive self-talk will elevate you from the crowd, because ultimately you believe in yourself, you believe in what you're actually doing, you believe in the process to actually get to where you want to get to. In the industry that we're in, we really need to stop believing in luck. We need to stop believing that, oh, it's just going to happen one day, or, you're going to over leverage and you're going to get to this point where you're just going to be successful, because ultimately consistency is not there. And when you don't have consistency, I've seen people go from $10,000 account all the way up to $100,000 account, but really not have their emotions there. And the reason they got there is because they over leveraged. Maybe they're a little bit lucky, they didn't really understand the charts, and then ultimately they end up losing the whole account because they have no consistency there, they have no system to actually follow, which ultimately just doesn't end well, as you can tell. A little tip for you would be, find trading fascinating. Really delve deep into every single area, every single corner of the trading realm. Because there has to be something to get you up in the morning. There has to be something to actually wake you up and get you on the charts every single morning. Because yes, we want freedom, we want to be able to do whatever we want, whenever we want, but there is still something, needs to have that drive under your ass, needs to set a light under there. Because ultimately we still have a job to do. We cannot switch off. We need to be fully focused every single time we take a trade, right? Because if you're thinking about the long game, if you're thinking about consistency, right? When you get onto the larger accounts, let's just say, up to $1 million, you cannot switch off, because even if you're risking 1%, right, you're going to be losing a lot of money, right? Not in the grand scheme of things compared to the account, but you are going to be losing a lot of money. You can't be messing around. So being absolutely fascinated with the charts, you're going to be absolutely engrossed in learning everything you can. Now, there is some negatives to be able to learn everything you can, but what you need to do is you need to stick to a set system and a set understanding of specific concepts, use them intertwined, but then you need to understand those. You guys aren't going to want to hear this, but this is ultimately what will filter out the people that aren't going to make it from the people that are going to make it. All it is effort and discipline to be able to do the same thing over and over again. If you have these two things and you constantly work on yourself, there is absolutely no reason why you won't become successful. I appreciate you all joining me for this video. My goal is to get to 3,000 subscribers just before Christmas, or just before the new year. So if we could do that, that would be absolutely amazing. If you did take anything from this, let me know in the comment section below. Leave a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next one.